15 minutes ago, I was 21. Now, I'm nearly 40. I know, still fresh as hell. But seriously, I blinked and watched 2 decades of my life slip through my fingers, all while I was feeding myself bull excuses. So I'm about to share 12 wake-up calls that I wish I had before I wasted half my life. And this is pretty much just a letter to my younger self. Lesson 1. Most people act like the world's against them, even though they haven't done the basics. Everyone wants advanced solutions and million-dollar ideas, but they can't even commit to self-care and time management. And still, they'll moan. They'll cry about how the universe is conspiring against them. If you're still waking up late, eating shit, and spending hours doom scrolling social media, you haven't even done the bare minimum to set yourself up for a successful day, let alone a successful year. Let's be absolutely clear. The universe isn't out to get you. It doesn't even know you fucking exist. It's indifferent and it's just waiting for you to sort your shit out. Stop blaming the government, your parents, the weather, your star sign. You're not cursed, you're just undisciplined. And yes, that's harsh, but it's also liberating because it means that you have full control. But if you can't manage to do the simplest tasks like drinking enough water and waking up on time and going for a half-hour walk, how can you possibly handle the complexities of running a business or building a meaningful career or staying consistent in your relationship? Because once you start doing those basics, it's amazing how quickly the world stops acting against you. Your energy increases, your focus improves, and that momentum fuels every single thing that you do. And then you realize it was never the universe holding you back. It was you and your own chaotic habits. So before you go off on another rant about how unlucky you are, take a cold hard look at your daily routine. The world doesn't pay out on IOUs of good intentions. It rewards consistent and disciplined execution of the basics. Lesson number 2. You already know what to do, you're just avoiding it. Because deep down, you're not actually clueless, are you? Stop pretending you need another free webinar or a brand new book. You already know what to do. But instead of doing what needs to be done, you throw yourself headfirst into hunting for hacks. Because as long as you're searching for that secret formula, you can postpone the point that you actually have to start doing any fucking work. It's like the classic weight loss analogy. You know what to do. Eat fewer calories and move more. It's not rocket science. But people spend millions on fad diets, miracle shakes, and sets of weights that just gather dust in the garage. Why? Because facing the truth is too painful. And the same logic applies in business or any other goal that you set. You keep chasing shiny objects, the next software tool, another networking event, the secret viral content formula. Yes, these things might help if you master them correctly, but not if you're ignoring the basics. And that's the real point here. You're not lacking the knowledge, you're lacking the execution. You're afraid to do the work because if you put in the effort and still fail, you'll feel like you're the problem. So you do nothing. That way you can blame the lack of information or the timing's not right or the market's too saturated or one of any other hundreds of bullshit excuses you tell yourself just to preserve your precious little ego. How many self-help books have you read? How many courses have you bought? And how many have you actually implemented from start to finish? The difference between winners and losers isn't the amount of knowledge they have, it's their willingness to act on it. So do yourself a favor and stop searching for secrets. There aren't any. Lesson number 3, and this is a big one for me. You have got to stop caring what other people think. If someone's giving you shit, it's either because they're jealous of you or they need to tear you down to justify their own mediocre existence. And if they had any guts at all, they would say that shit to your face. But they don't, because that requires them to have guts and a spine, and keyboard warriors have none. But even if they did say it to your face, it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to affect your bank balance. People talk shit because it's easier than fixing their own lives. That's it. That is the whole game. They could be out there improving something or building something, but no. They sit around judging people who actually have the balls to try. And let's be honest, most of these people aren't exactly killing it. They're not rich, they're not successful, they're clearly not happy, they're just there, existing, complaining, watching from the sidelines while you actually play. The second you stop caring what other people think, you become unstoppable. Because now, instead of wasting time overthinking, you're actually moving. Let me say this loud for the people at the back. If someone's not where you want to be, their opinion means all. You wouldn't take financial advice from a broke person. You wouldn't take fitness tips from someone who gets winded walking to the fridge. So why the would you care about life advice from people who've done nothing? The next time someone talks shit about you, do this. Laugh, keep working, win. Lesson number 4. Praise and criticism are the same thing. Both mean nothing. If you live for praise, you will die from criticism. You're letting external opinions control your life. And I had to learn this the hard way. I used to care far too much. Then I read a book by Ryan Holiday about stoicism and it hit me hard. Most of the shit that I thought was a big deal wasn't. Now, if someone gives me a bit of praise, cool, whatever. Someone talks shit, cool, whatever. If you treat every negative comment as a personal attack, you'll just spend your days fighting imaginary battles instead of actually getting better at what it is you do. The key is to see both things, criticism and praise, simply as signals, and neither one of them should inflate you or deflate you to the point of paralysis. If someone praises you, that's amazing, but don't start thinking your shit doesn't stink. There's always room for improvement. If someone slags you off, ask yourself, is there even a shred of truth in what this person's saying? If yes, fix it. If not, file it away and move on. You don't put your car in reverse and go back home because a red light appears. So if you let every compliment or every complaint pull your strings, you'll be dancing around like a puppet for the rest of your life. Use feedback as a tool, not as a life sentence. And that way you can remain in control whether people are clapping or whether people are booing. Lesson number 5, stop thinking that selling is weird. It's weird that you think it's weird. Selling isn't some dark art that you should be ashamed of. The entire world runs on transactions. We're surrounded by people buying and selling every single day. Yet somehow when it's your turn to sell, you freeze up like it's socially unacceptable. Wake up. You're probably selling yourself short in every single interaction because you've been told by some snowflake on the internet that selling is pushy. No. Being pushy is cringeworthy, yes. No one wants a sweaty palm little weirdo hounding them for a sale, but offering a genuine solution to someone's real problem isn't just okay, it's actually your responsibility. What if back in time Marie Curie discovered what she did and thought, oh no, I shouldn't talk about this, it feels kind of icky. People would have stayed sick, lives would have been lost, all because she was too scared to speak up. Now apply that logic to yourself. You have something valuable, something that can help people, but you're too busy worrying about whether selling feels weird. That isn't humility, that's fucking selfish. Because if what you're offering is genuinely useful, you are doing people a disservice by keeping quiet. And if you can't handle the idea of selling, then you may as well shut your doors right now. No sales equals no business, and no business equals, well, you might as well just go back to bed. Because let's be honest, even if you're not a business owner, you're still selling something. Yourself in a job interview, your abilities to your boss, your ideas to your colleagues, your children to brush their teeth. Selling is just another word for effectively communicating value. And if that makes you uncomfortable, then it's your loss. Stop confusing the concept of selling with nagging. Proper sales is about alignment. They have a problem, you have a solution. If the two of those things click, then the transaction is a no-brainer. If not, cool, move on. You need to get over your mental hang-ups, because if you don't, you will stay skint and dissatisfied forever. Lesson number 6, don't hand out favors that rob people of their lessons. Here's a story for you. A couple of weeks ago, my best mate's son tried to sell me a second-hand polo shirt for a tenner, and I paid him 20, trying to be the cool uncle, trying to do the nice thing, but in that moment, I actually did him a disservice. I should have made him work for it. Not that I did this out of pity, but when you hand people freebies out of pity, you rob them of the grit that actually comes from them working for the result. The same principle applies to every area of life. You might think you're helping someone by softening the blow, but in reality, you're stunting their growth, because the struggle is where people build confidence. It's where resourcefulness kicks in. It's where people learn to hustle and work hard for what they actually want. If you overpay someone or you spoon feed them success, you're giving them the illusion of accomplishment without the experience that cements their self-reliance. It's a dangerous thing. It might make you feel like some sort of generous hero, but all you're doing is inflating their bubble with hot air. Sooner or later, reality will come along and puncture it, and they'll have no idea how to cope. And you should apply this to your own life too. Stop looking for pity. If someone's giving you handouts or taking it too easy on you, demand better. Demand the genuine hardship that forces you to stay sharp. Demand the real test that proves you're worthy of leveling up. Because in the end, overcoming the obstacles is what leads to growth. A constant flow of easy wins is the fastest route to becoming a self-entitled loser who can't handle the real world. So the next time someone tries to help you, or the next time you try and help someone else, think twice. Because excellence should be rewarded, but scraps of pity shouldn't be thrown. Give people what they actually deserve. Let them feel the reward of the genuine success. That's how you create tough, driven individuals, not spoiled, arrogant amateurs. Lesson number 7. Stop fucking whining that some people have it easier or they just fell into success. It's the single biggest load of shit that you can feed your own brain. Most lucky people are just people who continue to play the game long after everyone else just gave up. The kid that kept kicking the football against the wall. That 23-year-old that went into network marketing. The fat person you used to know who lost loads of weight. They didn't just try a little bit and look out. They work f***ing hard. And most people just sit there with their arms folded like,
must be nice for them.
as if success is just handed out like a free biscuit or something. It's not. It's handed out by relentless attempts. If you've only tried something once, or you've posted on social media 3 times and you've concluded somehow that it doesn't work, how in the hell can you dare even say that someone else got lucky? That's like standing on the edge of a swimming pool, dipping your toe in, and moaning because you're not an Olympic swimmer. If you genuinely want to do something, you need to do the laps. It might be exhausting, but you continue to move forward because in that particular area, you refuse to accept mediocrity. That's how you create your own luck, by jumping in the water and staying in there until you've figured it all out. You are wasting precious hours every time you play the victim card about luck. While you're sat there sulking, the people that you envy are too busy taking action to sit around and listen to you moan. They're already deep in the work, getting told no a million times, getting rejected, struggling, getting out of breath, working harder, whatever it is. If you're just sat there with your finger up your ass, hoping the universe notices you, it won't. Lesson number 8, pick one thing and go all in. If you're still juggling 4 different side hustles and wondering why none of them have taken off, here's your answer. You are scattering your energy so thin that you can barely make a dent in any of them. Lock your eyes in on one thing and keep attacking it until it finally gives way. Think about the difference between a spotlight and a laser. Spotlight covers a really wide area, but it's not that intense. The laser focuses on one singular point, and it has enough force that it can cut through steel. And yes, I know, it's tempting. It's tempting to try multiple things because it feels safer. If one fails, at least you've got all the others, right? But guess what? If you never fully commit, you've essentially decided to fail at all those things together in slow motion. Stop diversifying your efforts just to soothe your fear. Gamble on yourself. That means money. That means energy. That means time. That means effort. That means your entire emotional bandwidth. Yes, it's a risk. But so is half-arsing a load of stuff and not really getting anywhere. At least with total focus, you give yourself a shot at blowing the roof off. And if you truly desire, like everyone says you should, multiple income streams, earn that right by killing it in your primary venture first. Get one stream strong so it can fund something else. Build the thing, then expand. Lesson number 9. An hour of hard work isn't worth a thing. Stop expecting a standing ovation because you finally did an hour of focused work. Essentially what you're doing is building a castle, brick by brick. But if you lay one brick and then piss around congratulating yourself, you'll never finish the walls, let alone the entire castle. That single brick or that single hour is worthless without the next 1,000. Results are cumulative. They stack up over time. And let's not forget entitlement either. That sense that you should be rewarded just because you put in an ounce of sweat is the fastest route to disappointment. There's no scoreboard up in the sky tracking every single minute that you work. God's not up there going,
hey, you've worked for 60 minutes, here's some success.
You either do enough to tip the scale in your favor or you don't. So if you're telling yourself, oh, I've worked hard today or I've worked hard this week, ask yourself, hard compared to what? Lesson number 10, you lose nothing from the word no. People are terrified of being told no. They treat it like the ultimate rejection, like the word no is going to be carved on their gravestone. But before you asked, the answer was already no. You had nothing. So if they say no, you're exactly where you started at. How exactly is that worse? And I'm no psychologist, but I imagine this fear is deeply rooted from childhood, when the word no felt like someone was slamming the door in your face. But now you are an adult, the word no is simply just a piece of data. It tells you that that prospect wasn't a good fit, that the offer wasn't right, that your timing was off. It's your cue to adjust and keep moving. Or sometimes it's a nudge to dig deeper and turn that no into a yes. But you'll never even get that chance if you're too scared to ask. So from now on, let's reframe the word no. Stop seeing it as a personal attack on your worth. See it as a checkpoint in the journey. Every no is a rung on the ladder to a yes. And at least when you hear no, you're in motion, rather than doing what everyone else is and just standing still. Lesson number 11. You haven't earned the right to moan yet. Take a step back before you open your mouth to whinge about how unfair shit is. Ask yourself, have you truly exhausted every single avenue? Have you tried it 100 times and failed? 1,000 times and failed? Have you stood on a street corner while it's dark and it's pissing down, handing out flyers while people sneer at you? Have you rung every local business until your voice hurts? If the answer is no, then STFU. You haven't even begun to scratch the surface of the effort that's required for a breakthrough. Most people just do a handful of half half-assed attempts, then they face a minor little setback, and they quickly adopt the victim narrative. That's not for me, the world's against me. Also, moaning doesn't solve shit. Moaning's just your way of offloading responsibility, hoping that someone else is going to come and solve your problems for you. The longer you whine, the longer you stay in the same position. So unless you can look in the mirror and honestly tell yourself that you have tried everything and you have gone above and beyond, don't bother with your complaints. Earn the right. Earn the right by getting your hands dirty. Then and only then have you earned the right to moan. But by that stage, you'll probably be too busy trying again to even bother moaning. Lesson number 12. You have no idea how many people will look up to you at just 5% success. Do you honestly think you need to be sat on a yacht, rolling in millions, having achieved 100% of your grand vision for you to inspire other people? In short, no, you don't. Even that first 5%, the small wins, the initial traction, that can be the spark to show someone else what is possible. The problem is, you keep downplaying your achievements like they're worthless. They're not. They're the stepping stones to bigger things, and they're already miles ahead of where other people are. You might close your first ever deal, or hit your first 2K month, or lose your first stone of weight. Nowhere near the end goal, but for someone stuck on the sofa or drowning in self-doubt, that milestone might be like Mount Everest. They see you taking that tiny leap, and then they think, maybe I can do that too. And yeah, most people won't openly congratulate you when you hit that little 5% marker. They'll watch silently, they might even scowl at you or turn their nose up, but behind closed doors, loads of people will be thinking, wish I could do that. You never know what seeds you are planting in other people's minds. So please, stop waiting for perfection to share what you're working on. Document the journey, the small wins, the incremental progress that you make, and document the fucking mistakes as well. That's part of the ride, and it's also what makes you and your story more relatable too. Perfection doesn't inspire anyone, it just intimidates them. And guess what? By the time you do reach your 100% goal, or certainly get closer to it, you'll have an army of silent supporters who, weirdly enough, have been rooting for you since day one. They might not comment, but they notice. And when you show them that consistent effort delivers results, they're going to start to see the blueprint for their own journey. Don't underestimate and never downplay the impact of every single tiny little step that you take. It's so much bigger than you think. Now, enough bullshit. You have got 12 brutally honest truths here. They're not complicated. They are right in front of you, right now. All it really comes down to is action. So what's it gonna be? You're gonna keep lying to yourself, or you're gonna do something that actually matters? You already know the answer.